You open a bottle of water, you take a sip, and then you notice something strange on the label, an expiration date, which raises a really confusing question. How can water expire? It's just water. It doesn't rot like fruit. It doesn't grow mold like bread, and water has existed on Earth for billions of years. So why would bottled water suddenly go bad after a certain date? Are companies just making it up? Or is something happening inside the bottle that most people never think about? Because the truth is, the expiration date usually isn't about the water itself. It's about the bottle. Let's break it down. Pure water, by itself, doesn't really spoil. If it stays completely clean and sealed, it can remain safe for an incredibly long time. In fact, scientists have found ancient water trapped underground for thousands of years, still chemically water. So the problem isn't usually the liquid itself. The problem is what the water is stored in. Most bottled water comes in plastic bottles. And plastic slowly changes over time, especially when exposed to heat, sunlight, or long storage periods. Tiny amounts of chemicals from the plastic can slowly leak into the water. Now we're talking about very small amounts. Usually not enough to make someone instantly sick, but enough that companies and safety agencies don't want the product sitting around forever. That's one reason expiration dates exist, but there's another reason too: taste. Water may not spoil like food, but it can start tasting different over time. Plastic bottles can absorb odors from the environment, and tiny chemical changes can slightly affect flavor. That's why old bottled water sometimes tastes a little strange, not necessarily dangerous, just off. Now here's something interesting. In many places, bottled water companies are legally required to print expiration dates on products. Even though the water itself isn't expiring in the normal sense, it's partly about quality control. A way to guarantee the product still tastes and performs the way the company expects. But here's where things get even more surprising. The storage conditions matter a lot. Storage conditions matter a lot. A bottle of water kept in a cool, dark place for years is very different from one left inside a hot car all summer. Heat speeds up chemical changes in plastic. So when bottled water gets very hot, the plastic can break down faster. That's why experts usually recommend storing bottled water away from sunlight and high temperatures. Now here's the question most people really want answered: is expired bottled water dangerous? In many cases, probably not immediately. If the bottle stayed sealed and was stored properly, the water may still be safe to drink long after the expiration date, but the taste may be different. And the older the bottle becomes, especially in poor storage conditions, the greater the chance of chemical leaching or contamination. So the expiration date is partly about safety, but also about guaranteeing quality. Now here's something fascinating. The water cycle on Earth is incredibly ancient. The water you drink today may have once existed in glaciers, rivers, oceans, or even inside dinosaurs millions of years ago. Earth keeps recycling water over and over again. Evaporation, rain, rivers, clouds, again and again. So in a way, water itself is almost timeless, but the bottle holding it is not. Plastic ages, materials degrade, seals weaken, and eventually the packaging becomes less reliable. That's the real reason bottled water has an expiration date. Not because the water suddenly expires like milk, but because the container slowly changes over time. And once you understand that little date on the bottle feels much less mysterious. It's not really measuring the lifespan of the water, it's measuring the lifespan of the packaging around it. Common thing, surprising history, and now you know why bottled water has an expiration date.